Good evening, folks. We're coming to you live from Charlotte, North Carolina here at 10 News. I'm Hallie Cochran.
And I'm Jacob Schecksnyder.
Tonight we're going to be approaching a subject that is almost always negatively associated in society: drugs.
In our culture, it's illegal to have any amount of these substances on you. You can get tickets, you can get jail time, and with the rising crime rate, prisons filling up, people are getting really concerned about the war on drugs. Thankfully, there's a country in this world who has decided to rid themselves of prejudice and take an intelligent approach. Portugal. They decided about 11 years ago today to decriminalize minor possession of all drugs. We have a couple of our reporters out there seeing how exactly this is panning out for the country, because the obvious thing to assume is that they're going to get a bunch of drug tourists and it's just going to become a free-for-all party in Portugal. So let's see what's actually happening. Here's Adam at the embassy in Portugal.
Hey, thanks Jacob and Hallie. This is Adam holding it down at the U.S. Embassy in Portugal. President Guajalo just entered the embassy behind me to meet with President Obama today and discuss the success of the Portugal drug laws. Over 13 years ago, these new laws were implemented, allowing 1 gram of heroin, 2 grams of cocaine, 25 grams of marijuana, or 5 grams of hashish. These are the drug quantities one can legally purchase and possess in Portugal. MDMA, which is the active ingredient in ecstasy and amphetamines, including speed and meth, can also be possessed up to 1 gram. The idea behind this idea was that drug users are not criminals. They're sick and they need treatment, and that's what Portugal aims to do: is to help their citizens. Prior to the drug laws being implemented, people speak of seeing children and young adults throughout the street strung out on heroin, which was a popular drug in this area. The overall drug use compared to other countries was not high or above average. The problem was children would go from smoking weed joints to being hooked on heroin in a snap. 5 years after, the overdoses dropped from 400 to 290 annually, and the number of HIV cases from dirty needles dropped from 1,400 to 400. 10 years later, the number of hard drug users in treatment is currently 40,000, which provides to be much cheaper and far more humane to handle compared to 100,000. Thank you so much. Jacob and Hallie, back to you.
Thanks, Adam. That was some great information.
Now we have Chris, who's in the capital city of Lisbon in Portugal. What's going on down there, Chris?
Thanks, guys. This is news reporter Christopher Cairns reporting to you live from Lisbon, Portugal, the capital city, where 12 years ago today, the government decriminalized all drug use. This change in legislation has had many positive effects on society, including family life. Before this change took effect, drug use ravaged families, ruined lives, killed many people, and destroyed the family unit. Today I am happy to report to you the positive effects of this change. Since decriminalization of drugs, the government stopped treating addicts as criminals and started treating the illness behind the addiction. This change has drastically affected family lives by, number 1, keeping families together, number 2, keeping youth from experimenting with drugs, number 3, preventing HIV and AIDS in newborn children, and lastly, keeping people alive, because let's face it, without people, there would be no family. As you can see, this country has changed the epidemic of addiction in many positive ways, and by doing so, changed family life for the better. Now, sending it back to you guys in the studio. Thank you.
Thanks, Chris. That was really interesting.
Now we have Justin standing in front of a picture of a school.
Hi, I'm Justin Ramos, reporting live at a school in Portugal. Before decriminalization, Portugal had a literature rate of 14 to 20%. Post the legislation change, that rate jumped to 95%. School attendance is up dramatically, and students' grades are much higher. Drug use is down from 64% in 1996 to 21% in 2011 among youth. Legalization drug have made students less likely to experiment with dangerous substance. Do you remember when your parents wouldn't let you do something? That just made you want to do it even more. But when they allow it, you tend not to do it. Same idea in Portugal. Send it back to you guys in studios.
What an energetic classroom that was.
Quite enlightening.
As you can see, Portugal has made some changes for the better.
They took a risk, it worked, and now they're on the road to a brighter future.
Thanks for watching 10 News Tonight. I'm Hallie Cochran.
And I'm Jacob Scheck Snyder. And I ain't mad at you, Portugal. All right, okay.